throwing thousands of Sonics all around the world because if y'all saw, there was a little bit of a little oopski in the way that they drafted because there was a range issue, there was an effective damage issue, a timing issue. So, you know what? Onic PH here on the play. I reckon, no, they're not. They are, this is a switcheroo situation.
Yes.
Yeah, they are on the draw here. They are on the double pick side. They ban out the Tigreal. I think that's a great start.
Well, I think it's all right for now. I'm more concerned about like the heavy hitters, the high win rate ones, especially like things like Yi, for an example. I'm also curious whether or not we're going to see the low Yi come through.
Shohead is also open still.
Which I was made
Dangerous
for.
stuff, dangerous stuff. I think at this point, I feel like the blind pick coming in from game number 1, the Valentina, definitely was a bit of a toss-up for me. I think other than that, I'm okay with the high loss because it kind of band-aids the scenario of, hey, Irithel needs to get in on the fight. Same goes for Valentina. But coming into it, do you think that King Kong is going to get his hands on the Joy? Or at the very least, do we just take the carry at this point? Switch it up that Irithel maybe for a Moskov?
I think Onic PH is also considering that Arkeoshi might end up with the Joy themselves too, instead of just them being able to take it. That's what the ban is. Okay, take out the jaw head. So they're still respecting the best pick of Ida. They respected 2 roamers. Oh, low Yi. Oh man, I don't think they're gonna go for a crazy pick-off type. You can still pair up the low Yi with a high loss. If it's gonna be a pick-off roam, actually, that might be a surprise wildcard Arkeoshi might consider.
Yeah.
Or a Cho, just send in a nice big 3-man Shunbo and then get a perfect kick. Onic PH though, they're picking between anything of Suyo, Joy, Granger, Moskov, if you're feeling that.
Yeah. I think I agree with the Moscow that you mentioned.
This is when was the last time we saw Gatot here in this spot right here, this early in the draft?
No, I totally agree with you. I am a little confused by the Gatot in this prediction. I don't know if Onic PH is trying to make a hard read against RRQ.
Another hard read like that red 3, that blue 3 Valentina?
I feel like the blind Valentina is a lot more dangerous. At least in this case, it's like a flex pick. We're like, okay,
that's true.
At the bare minimum, it's like
true.
if things go wrong, you get AOG out of there, so it's not the worst.
That's true. Though still, it's too early. I'd say it's super early, man. Gatot has seen a steady decline since the M6 World Championship, but now, okay, only Onic can make sense of this.
Right? We'll see. We'll see once we finish up the very first half of the draft, because so far I'm expecting things to go a little more in favor of RRQ, especially since they are on the blue side, right? They're going to show their first 3 first, and it looks like that they're going to wow, Alpha into the comfort pick of Dire on the
It's
foe.
so good.
Yeah, this is a very good first 3 picks by Arkeoshi.
I mean, sure, yes, but like you're playing Alpha into Joy. You're not catching Joy ever.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to. You just catch whoever's right in front of you. You have the Phobius trying to reach the back line of Onic PH. You as the Alpha just need to survive so you can retreat, deal the damage that you can deal as an Alpha while spell vamping it.
You let Joy be the last one standing. Essentially is what's happening here. Arkeoshi, great front line, great map mobility already. What are they closing up with Onic PH? Moskov, Granger. Still, I'm going to die on that hill. I think those are still some of your 2 best picks.
What a carry. Oh, okay, they go Granger.
Dude.
All right, let's see how this will fare now. This is the first time we're going to be seeing Granger in the new patch.
Yeah.
Onic better ban the carry.
I'm very interested to see how this is really going to play out, right? Oh, they can bury and ban out the carry and as well as the Irithel.
Yep.
I mean, the main difference from Granger previously to Granger in the current patch is the wave clear. And that's
Clear speed, yeah.
It is such a big difference here because now, for most people, you usually get rid of that entire wave, and now you have no minions to hide behind before you get gunned down in the middle of the lane. So, with that slight change, a pretty big change in this case, it's going to really affect them. And there we go, the Irithel ban coming out inside Onic PH.
I think even more so, considering how in the last patch we were talking about how, like, yeah, it's a little bit more towards the player because we saw a good amount of Grangers win against Irithels, but with the nerf to Granger, you definitely have to ban the Irithel now.
Coming into the Sicilian ban from the side of RRQ Hoshi, I think it's clear that they want to get rid of artillery-style mid laners. We'll see if they get rid of the Farsa as well. That probably will give extra confirmation.
Yeah. So that would mean mid lane would be Farsa, Vexana, Aurora if you need. I like the Aurora though. I think you'll need a little bit more utility here in Onic PH's lineup.
Yes.
You sure? I feel like Vixana probably is a better bet in that case because inevitably it's going to come down to, Loi is going to be our anchor. If Loi moves up, we all move up, and Alpha has no means of escape. So let's make something. Speaking of which, actually, this feels like a pretty decent. I was going to say Matilda. Very good ban coming from Onic PH.
Yeah, I think that would have been really devastating for the rotations of Onic PH if they still had to deal with a Matilda too.
It cancels a lot of the all-in.
Yeah.
It denies you your perfect positioning that you worked so hard for.
It's trench warfare, right? As soon as you try to make that initial leap, you only have to run for it despite the bullets flying by you.
That's why there were no grappling hooks in trench warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Technology just did not allow for it, and it would have been unfair. Glue here banned out by RRQ Hoshi, so that means they're saying, hey, that Gatot better go where we think it's going. It's left out. Don't Hilda, please don't Hilda.
Let's see.
No Hilda, no Hildies.
No Hildies. I mean, they can't. I mean, they could go CC if they want to.
I would have liked a high loss because the carry's still open.
Oh boy. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, we haven't seen what exactly the marksman coming from RQ Hoshi's gonna be. Oh, Edith is so safe.
Okay, it's the Kirk signature. I mean, they always had a saying before in MPLPH season 14. I'll say it in Filipino first and translate. Edith ko na to.
This is my Edith.
This is my Edith. That's what Kirk would say in the draft if it feels like it's an Edith game. And yeah, good source of magic damage. Whatever the roam or EXP needs to be, eats a good amount of physical too. Because it just can't be the Granger dealing the physical damage.
I mean, you're right. You're right about that. But they did kind of change his scaling as well. He got an extra 10% in his ratio.
Yeah, for the late game. But like to cross that bridge, they need a bit more physical. It can't just be the Granger.
Well, let's see what this is going to be. First, RQ need to finish off their composition. They're going for Carry as well as Ruby.
That's another little Edok in the pocket kind of pick. They've won once previously in the group stage of the challenge finals with this Ruby. So I'm liking it. Again, off of the momentum of Toy in game one. And what is it? There's two solid targets, the Gatot and the Edith, that you're throwing light wheels at.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
Here we go! New patch, baby!
Dude.
If they're not gonna win, at least we're gonna learn something.
Yeah.
And if they do win, this makes the game a little spicier because that means Selena is for real, for fur.
That's so crazy. I don't know about you boys. I'm glad I'm not casting this game because this is going to be a spicy one as Onic PH put all the chips on the line in an elimination match against the Kingdom. Well done. Good luck to you boys. Leon as well as Ramar, please take it away.
Folks, everything has changed in Selena. If you did not just check your patch notes, it's in that little events tab and then you go, it's not in your inbox no more. You'll see that they tweaked almost everything in Selena, numbers-wise.
You know, we teased it in the panel earlier. Like, I did mention that I'd want to see the Selena tease that for Super Friends. I didn't expect to see it in this kind of matchup for a Selena.
A do or die.
It's a do or die. You're up against a Ruby, an Alpha, a Phobius, a Low Yi. As a Selena, just like, sure? Okay.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm afraid for. I'm afraid for Toy. Because as a Selena, there's very little you can do. As a carry, to like go, you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah.
If anything, Edok might have to babysit you. But here we go. Game number 2. Do or die, all on the table. It's all or nothing for Onic PH. They gotta win this or go home. RQ Hoshi going for the throat.
Initial minion wave trade in the mid. Oh, Rinse flickered. Okay.
Friends did too.
Okay, Friends did too. He forced it out. Friends still really low. They cannot get any control whatsoever in the center of the map.
Yep, this is a full-on burst Selena rocking that lethal ignition. So you know what she wants to do. You know what this is leading towards. King Kong is struggling to get a free farm. Edok living in his personal space. What's the laning like? This Granger versus Carry. We're gonna see more of that often in the next few weeks. And this Edith versus this is a tale as old as time kind of matchup.
Yeah, this one it's down to the team fights, honestly. In terms of the laning, you don't really see a big trade between those two. It's just their impact in the team fights closest to them.
Yep.
While Kelra seems to be handling it relatively good compared to Toy, because Toy was the first one to pop his regen. He was brought to like 50. Then he had to regen against the Granger.
That's a statement of dominance. It's just like,
Yeah.
you're lower faster.
Onic PH, really, for me, as much as we've talked about Super Prince and his Selena, again, we were hyping it up because other than the changes, this is his favorite hero. This was the hero that he picked to be featured alongside his M6 exclusive trading card.
He could have picked any from a Lu Yi to a Farsa to a Valentina. He chose this hero, which has gotten buffed, and now the turtle has spawned 4 members apiece on each side. In comes Dairen.
He goes forward. He's stopping King Kong single-handedly. Phobius is stopping the Joy, and the turtle will go to Arkihoshi because no more juggler for the side of Onic Philippines to retribution it as Brusco just feels the brunt of the damage. Diversion coming in from Rinse. Where's it gonna go? It's to invade and stop King Kong from farming.
That turtle pit was no place for a little Leonin girl. King Kong not in any shape to be 3-4 heroes deep into any engagement, and he's gonna lose his orange. This is painful. As a fan of Onic PH, the Sonics watching all over the world, wondering what happened to the M6 World Champions. Why can't they catch a break? Arkihoshi now about 800 gold up.
Arkihoshi, proven and tested right now. They are just playing better. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, you see Kirk and King Kong trying to go after Dairen, but Dairen has the little help. The damage reduction being under the turret, and he will not fall. But that means Kirk, he won't have an impact in the map too, because he had to commit that ultimate to bring Dairen that low.
Yep, luckily they don't seem to be looking for big fights just yet. But that does mean Arkihoshi know that Onic won't try to fight anything.
Too dangerous for a Selena to even clear the minion wave as Edok with a pull as the Ruby and the diversion so close. They could have just walked it, but they wanted that purple buff now. King Kong will not get it. King Kong will get damaged, and he can just watch. Kirk trying to help now. Brusco gonna go in with the AOG! A massive combo with Kirk, but do they have the damage? Kirk will be able to take down Edok. Here comes Kelra. It's the damage of the Granger. Enough Susagen will fall as well. King Kong going after Rinse. Rinse trying to survive. He'll make it under turret and he'll survive, but Dairen will not. A sudden counter. Kirk and Brusco with a tag team.
Silver lining for the Sonics. Onic PH come alive as they go for a long-term trade and eventually a clapback. The beast has been unleashed. Prior, he was starving. They took away 2 buffs from him, 1 purple, 1 orange, and off of that turnaround, off of Super Prince, finally catching an amazing Abyssal Arrow, they get the equalize down to 400 gold now. Brusco about to get cornered out of here. Still not that far out ahead as Onic PH concede the turtle over to RQ. The pull by Edok.
Kelra is in trouble here. If Brusco falls, Brusco still surviving though. Super Prince is close enough to provide what little help that he can. In the bottom lane, Kirk is equalizing the push that is being, pushed by Arkihoshi in the top lane. Brusco sees Edok, and Kelra saying, "What nerf? I still hurt, man."
The burst in that 3-man gank squad by Onic PH. They do have to concede that tier 1 up top. All this while, though, look at Kirk. Oh, man. They should check on that Edith.
That is what we call in the Philippines a split type. He is cool as an air conditioner right now. He is okay there. But at some point, he will have to leave the push and just, really join in the fights. Because they do need the magic damage that the Edith brings out.
Makes sense, because the gold deal has now been inverted.
Yeah.
There's a quick diversion play. No one home. Just checking in on that trap. So, again, there's some unprecedented utility that we haven't seen in the meta in a long time. Super Prince has control over certain brushes that he didn't have to visit. King Kong here going for that bush steal, that orange buff. That get checked in. Oh, I don't with the pull.
Okay, that's the ultimate of the Ruby. Already committed. AOG go in, but Arkihoshi sidestep it. It was just for... So Brusco can help King Kong. Oh, did that orange buff go to Super
Nope,
Prince? No, I did not.
got it.
Okay, just in the nick of time, he was able to retribution it. He had
There
to commit
was
that.
about a nanometer between that and the retribution. Retribution's faster.
Yeah. I mean, it is instant, right?
You heard it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's still, I still think this is still a very difficult game for Super Friends to pull it off. But
For
you
sure.
see he's a little bit more calculated and a little bit more patient with when he enters. Great diversion by RQ.
It's still an experimental pick.
Yeah.
As awesome as it's working in the few times it has in the past 7 minutes, it's still a new element in the current metagame. 5-man presence here. All the members of Arkiyoshi clamping down on this turtle, and they do find one.
Kirk able to get the knock up onto the Edoc Ruby. Arkiyoshi will be able to get the turtle without a problem. And Onic PH, that's as much as they can do. They don't have that big ticket ultimate that a mid laner provides. So if the Selena doesn't get anyone, well, it's not going to be a go signal.
Instead of a big bazooka to the face, this Selena is essentially death by 1,000 cuts. One of those cuts sometimes would be a giant katana, all right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some burst in there, but for better or for worse, you're actually just playing the map, getting a little bit of better CC. See, there's a nice arrow there thrown out to catch Tsujima. Wait, diversion into Pixel Brush.
Oh, they're going to be able to find Brusco. He'll try to just walk away. He does have the Revitalize if ever he needs it. And again, disciplined by RRQ Hoshi, they're not going to force it. But as much as they're not forcing, it's become stagnant a little bit because King Kong is not pushing up top.
That's right. So every minute that passes by that King Kong isn't punished, isn't compromised, isn't forced to take fights or go elsewhere, deny his rotations, then that's more hope for Onic. Arki Kohushi, though, making for the most of that absence, pushing this bottom lane tier 1, because again, King Kong left a little chubby wave up top. Should be a push in about a second or two.
I think just one more flying, there we go, arrow from the Siege Minion. Arki Hoshi will counter back in the bottom lane, still aggressive. And they know where RRQ are in the map, does Onic PH. Can they find the pick or the start though? Edoc tried it himself, but able to sidestep. Was Super Friends. Another diversion up, but it's not going to get casted by Rins. Toy, a few love taps onto the Selena.
You call it a love dance? That's a tap of passion.
Oh, here comes Kirk with a flicker forward, but they get stopped by the Ruby right in their tracks. King Kong going in as well. Arki Hoshi and Onic are both disciplined. They say this is not the fight worth taking just yet.
And that's a wave that RQ Hoshi are pushing in slowly but surely. Even if, this is allowing for Onic PH to farm up, the same is true for RQ Hoshi. They are still ahead. These are still fights that they're forcing onto Onic. And that is a wave that they're winning down bottom and in mid. Lord started up already by RQ Hoshi, taking that bush up top, forcing King Kong to let out that ult.
No Edith ultimate, no Joy ultimate. Edoc quite low, Sutsujin close to 50. They had to get one spell vamp and healing. They can get Edoc closer to 20 and 0 now. Sonic PH are slowly winning the formation battle here as the roamer of Arki Hoshi needs to back.
Friends, like a sniper, just throwing out these arrows, throwing out these traps, allowing for him to be at what, a third of his health and still be an active part of these fights. That almost single-handedly allowed for Onic to get a reset. So both teams can actually just regain some health along the way.
Another Abyssal Arrow stops what could have been a jump onto Kelra in the mid lane. Is it just like compounding interest with these skill shots as they constantly land? The Granger and the Selena. Arki Hoshi said, let's just leg it, let's just try. Diversion getting casted. How many is that? That's gonna be 3. Where did they go? Oh, they found Super Prince in the mid. What a call and what a play by RRQ Hoshi. Instantly advantage for the Kingdom. And now the Sonics will try and hold and contest. Kirk has his ultimate back. He's already forced to use it against the Phobias as Dyren is stopping Onic from doing anything. King Kong already committed the beats, but it's not enough. Kelra is here, but Dyren falls to the hands of the Savage. Rin's forced to flicker back. It wasn't a clear win for RRQ. It's a stalemate still.
Onic PH with a delayed clap back. You'll see there the AOG failing to catch anyone, but it was long enough for the rest of Onic PH to respond. And we have here a 1-for-1. Prince for Dyren. And just like that, we're back to square one. Another Lord Dance initiated this time by Onic PH. All this while, another wave set in mid. Something to think about for RRQ. Lord here down a 10th of his health.
Oh, he goes in with the ultimate Bruno finds Toy, but the diversion is here to help RRQ. Or was it actually helpful as 3 falls and Kirk gets the Lord? Make that 4. It's just Dyren trying to survive, but that's a triple for the god of the Ghost Lane.
Onic Philippines, their patience paying dividends. Going from a Lord take to a turret take to a buff steal, now up about 4,000 gold over RRQ Hoshi, and they are calling the map theirs. It's red, ladies and gentlemen. All tier 1s and 2s taken down.
That felt like them cashing out on investing in crypto in 2013 and cashing out in 2025.
It's like holding on to that first edition Charizard, fam. And looking at the map, all waves have been synced. RQ Hoshi can only hold on. So far, their tricks haven't been working.
Rinse?
iDoc hasn't been catching his hooks. Down goes Rinse, 1v1 up top.
And King Kong finds one. Advantage for Onic Philippines. Turrets will not be forced unless, will they? Will they try? They know they have the man advantage, but is it too risky with the counterplay potential of a Ruby? Missile Arrow hits Sutsujin. Yes, they're still steady.
It's the same issue as in game number 1. The marksman just could not find the time to get all the damage in. Sutsujin, defensive, Spear of Alpha, tier 3 down bottom. The inhibitor taken down. Permanent damage to RRQ's base. You know what? All right, number 1, iDoc gets the perfect pull. That's one way to go. Second option for RQ Hoshi, what about a picture-perfect diversion? What if they pick off Prince again? What if they pick off Kelra? They haven't been able to touch the Savage.
They do know that Onic love that 4-1 split. That 3-2 split that they do. Maybe that's where it'll come from, right? The diversion you mentioned.
And the beauty of this is, if you're a Sonic fan, is that's much easier said than done. With the range that the Granger has, the only hero in the current pool, maybe save for a Beatrix, more reliably so. The Beatrix only has one way of sniping from that far, is the Granger can be so far off and still be an active part of a fight with a quick 1-2 second rotation.
And yes, the Granger was nerfed, but that was his early to mid presence. We are at that point where Granger is just Granger again.
It doesn't matter. The nerf is now null and void. Currently, Kelra is just waiting for one more item. He's sitting pretty with a, oh my god, you know that Kelra is comfortable. You know that Granger's happy when he starts building Sky Piercer.
Yeah, and he's confident. I think he built that. That was just his second item, right?
Must be at 4 stacks by now.
Yeah, should be at 4, and now he has a BOD as well.
Sad sword.
The poke damage that Onic PH can bring out might just make RQ Hoshi sad.
See?
Oh, the AOG lands on the back of the Abyssal Arrow, getting the information.
Another one
landed. Kick on with the beats, and Enoch goes down. Kirk with the entry, and Reach falls to another Abyssal Arrow. But the Monster Mage, a maniac for Kelra. Will he live up to the name? Chasing after Tyron, and it is a Savage for the Savage.
Some names make the player, but here in this case, the player makes the name. We're going to game 3. The Sonics take it to the kingdom 1-1.
Equalize.